Let's get now more reaction on the President's speech from COSATU Eastern Cape Secretary Mkhawuleli Maleki. Mkhawuleli, good evening and thank you very much for your time. As COSATU in the Eastern Cape, I believe, of course, you are watching these developments in the country. Do you believe that there are instigators behind this attack on the country's democratic apparatus?
Well, firstly, good evening to you at the studio and the viewers at home. Yes, we believe that this is orchestrated somewhere by some people.
And who are these instigators?
Well, if you are to understand the people that really proclaim that this is what they would be doing, those that claim to be supporting the former president Jacob Zuma, that they are the ones that have pronounced in the actions, and they have been live on media. But it's an open secret that who is behind.
And as the Eastern Cape Alliance, what is your position, and how would you like the state, the government particularly, to deal with these individuals?
Well, our position in the Eastern Cape, one, is that we believe that we have a democratic government. Secondly, we believe in the rule of law. We respect the Constitution. We believe that nobody is above the Constitution. And, well, when you look at these developments, we are not in support of these developments that are taking place. Very nasty developments, violence, rampant looting, and all that stuff. It takes us back. When you look at the situation as it presents itself, there's a dire consequences of such a situation. Currently, in the areas where this violence has taken place, people are struggling to make ends meet. There's jobs that are at risk. There's danger. There are people that have lost lives needlessly.
Talking of a loss of life, I believe currently there are some in your province who are being targeted for standing up against this looting. Some unconfirmed reports of taxi operators who've been attacked. Can you confirm that?
Well, for me, it's difficult to link the two. Those that are closer to the processes where it unfolded, they would be in a better position to say what really the situation is. But we enjoy support of the broader community of the Eastern Cape, the stakeholders, your taxi operators, your community leaders, your NGOs and the alliance and the mass democratic movement, insofar as our stance is concerned. Because what we believed is that we cannot be burrowed in our respective holes and wait for the big bang. We really had to be proactive and really avert that kind of a situation because of understanding what would be the far-reaching implications in our province.
Yeah. There are those who say there is, of course, a genuine socio-economic challenge that exists in the country, and the plight of the poor is something that has been exacerbated and announced even more by the fact that we have a lockdown, and this particular looting is going to take matters even further. What do you make of the relief package that was announced by the President today, instructing SASSA to continue with the remaining budget that they have to ensure that there is cash available, food vouchers, and ensuring that the cash pay points for SASSA that are safe to open are now being opened and fully operational?
Well, we support what the President came up with, but to respond to your question, the devil can cite scripture for his purpose. An evil soul can produce holy witness. An evil soul that produces holy witness, like a golden apple wrapped in the heart. They hide behind something that would look genuine and sound genuine. Yet those that are perpetrators are not genuine in the process.
And how do we isolate those who are not genuine in our societies?
Well, if this was genuine, how would you have an intersection of the two and you think it is genuine? Those that instigate violence and people have rampant looting that they never thought of or wanted to execute at a particular moment. But when the instigators, such happens. Well, if the egg falls on the floor, you don't have to see it to know it's broken.
Yeah. And Mkhawuleli, how would you then, as the alliance, view the response by the law enforcement agencies in the country as far as state security is concerned, now the deployment of the military, and how they've responded since the start of this unrest?
It is our view as Alliance that there's been a degree of laxity insofar as the security cluster is concerned in dealing with the matter. And again, the response that they had, it was not a very good response. It's like they were chasing shadows in the process, instead of having an anti-clockwise reaction in terms of dealing with the matter. You know, when for example, you have around about 20 stores that are targeted, you know, when they start with the first one, you start with number 20, ensure that number 20 is safe. You come back, you then work backwards so that you meet each other like a scissor. They often move in different directions, you know, and that's what we expected for them to deal with the situation, but they did not. You know, it may as well be the case of underestimating what was it that was to happen, the scale, the magnitude, and all that stuff.
And how do you view the unity?
But again, it has turned the spotlight that if you say you have police force, that the personnel rather that you have, and again that personnel that you have, when there's a crisis, it cannot rise to the occasion. There's a problem there.
Yeah, and it has
because you can't think that there's always be stability. There would be situations of instability. And instability in some ways, a threat to stability that is elsewhere.
Right.
So chances are there may be a connection in terms of that instability. How would you deal with that?
Right.
If you don't have exactly you're not well resourced in terms of personnel.
In certain instances, members of the community have had to rise up. In fact, in your very own province, the unity and the collectivism and the kind of force that the community has shown. How do you read that?
Well, when you understand what is at stake, but beyond what is at stake, you understand what then becomes your responsibility. You know, as leaders and leaders of the society, the alliance have to be there. And again, the true measure of anyone or any organization is not where that organization stands in prosperity. It is where that organization finds itself in adversity, you know, and people become effective when they're stretched. We were stretched in terms of understanding what the situation is likely to be, and then we were ready for such in terms of galvanizing support. And again, some came voluntarily to say, we want to enter the fray, we want to be part of the equation in terms of dealing with this, because we understand some of the limitations that may be there. We don't want just to complain, we want to do something. I think that's what helped us, in a way.
COSATU Eastern Cape Provincial Secretary there, Mkhawuleli Maleki, we appreciate your time, and thank you very much for joining us.